Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. As you can see, we've got a myriad of stuff that's new to the collection, including a couple of fresh deliveries that just came in today. So we're going to crack all of this open on the channel, including deep unboxings on these three games, and in fact, this is where we're going to start. We're going to start right here first. So I'll bring the rest of this out of shot. And we are going to start with the newest expansion for Heat Pedal to the Metal, Heat by Days of Wonder. We've got Heat Tunnel Vision. As you can see, it's open already because the game store where I normally pick up my games from already played this copy. I guess they resealed it for me. But let's take a look. The roar of powerful engines burst from the dark mouth of the Pyrenean Tunnel just moments before gleaming cars streak past. One mistake could mean certain destruction, but the lure of the Spanish Grand Prix keeps the drivers focused and aggressive. Speeding through tunnels is risky, but no one is slowing down. Heat Tunnel Vision introduces two new racing tracks. The Spanish Grand Prix takes your car through treacherous tunnels, forcing you to trust your instincts in the semi-darkness. The Netherlands track allows you to open your engine to full throttle before throwing you into a succession of treacherous corners. Take part in the 1965 championship season and install the new front wing upgrade to draft off the other drivers and charge to victory. This expansion includes all components for another player to join your races. So now we've got the purple racer as well. Let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. Being as it is a Thursday night, if you spend any amount of time on the channel with me on a Thursday night, you know Thursday is my laundry night, so we might have to pause the stream for a little bit to go run that. But let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. We've got the rule book, which will give, well, I say rule book, but really it just feels like one sheet of paper that will give our cursory thumb through when we're all done. We've got the purple player's board. We'll crack open the track. We've got the car. We've got the peg and the car in here. Another score pad, and all of the cards. As usual, I don't punch the car. I don't break the cards open until I'm ready to deal with them. And it's empty under the insert. So let's take a look at the. Let's take a look at the track. Well, both tracks. We've got Spain. We've got our Spain track, which looks like we've got tunnels in here. We've got a lot of low-speed corners in this one. Then we'll flip this over. We should see the Netherlands on here. Yep. This one actually looks like a pretty straightforward track from the looks of it. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 corners on it and a very long straightaway. So that's a track I'm looking forward to seeing how all it works out. But we can get this folded up. And then we'll take a look at the well, I say rule book again, but really, it's not much of a rule book. But we'll give it a look. Looks like as long as your car is in a tunnel space, you can't discard anything from your hand. Okay. Then we've got the chicanes, 2 consecutive corner lines that you've got to calculate. We've also got aggressive legends. And the draft symbol. Okay. So that's not much of a rule. As I said, that wasn't much of a rule book there. So now we've got Heat Tunnel Vision as well. Okay. Let's zoom out, and we'll bring our next game in shot as I tip the camera down just a little bit. We'll bring... This was an Amazon order that I got a while back. This is One Deck Galaxy by Asmati Games. This is a space version of One Deck Dungeon, probably. Let's take a look at the back. Yep. One Deck Galaxy is the spacefaring successor to One Deck Dungeon. Your goal is simple. Build up your civilization from its humble homeworld, growing to create a federation spanning countless star systems. You'll need to establish colonies, develop techs, launch probes, build fleets, all done by cleverly using your dice and focusing your efforts on what you deem most important. Standing between you and your cosmic destiny each game is one of several adversaries. You'll have to split your efforts between growing your own strength and confronting them directly. Every adversary has its own set of rules and abilities, and you'll need to come up with different clever plans to defeat each one. We'll see what the rest of the information is on the box once we get the shrink wrap off, because the UPC from Amazon is conveniently covering all of that. $45 to 60 minutes, 1 to 2 players, age 14 plus. So now let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. And wow, that comes off easily. Adversary Quick Guide. We've got our Galaxy Guidebook, which we'll give our cursory thumb through. Looks like the adversaries, as usual. I'm not going to punch these until I'm ready to deal with them. Then our Federation Simulator. All of our tokens. Cards, which, again, you guys know the drill. And more of our tiny dice. As usual, I've got full-size dice that I'll be using with this. So that insert can come out. We'll see, so that can sit flat. Actually, let's do this. I'll leave the cards out for the time being. We'll give both the Quick Guide and the Galaxy Guidebook cursory thumb-throughs. I'll close that for the time being, but we won't be going too far with it. So let's zoom in first on the Quick Guide. Precise rules are printed on the adversary reference cards. That's good to know. Looks like it turns this way for the Nibelwuber Colony Fleet. Say that 5 times fast. So it looks like this is lore. Then we've got the Hungry Nebula. The Optimization Calibrator. The Dark Star Syndicate. And the Preservation Authority. And a quick reference guide, so that's handy. Now let's bring the actual guidebook into shot. Okay. That's, of course, not wanting to lay flat. Okay, so it looks like we've got Homeworlds and Societies, probably as the larger cards. Okay. Looks like I might have to hold this so it stays flat. Four-phase turn, which is pretty straightforward from the looks of it. Discover phase milestones. Action phase. More in the action phase. Yeah, it definitely looks very similar to One Deck Dungeon. Results phase. More in the results phase. Then we've got reshuffle, adversaries, victory or defeat, 2-player rules. And a campaign mode, so that's cool. And an information hub for One Deck Galaxy. No, there's even bonus content. Anyway, all of that can land back in the box. I doubt I'm going to be using these 12mm dice on when I get this game out. I didn't when I played One Deck Dungeon for the first time on channel. Just putting this back away. We can bring that out of the way as we bring our last new game into shot. So, as part of another Amazon delivery, I got in Kinfire Delve Scorn Stockade by Incredible Dream. 1 to 2, 14 plus 60 minutes. So this would make great weeknight content, I should say. It's all the same set. It's all the same stuff on the back as the other two games in the set. As I've got, what are the other two called? Vainglory's Grotto and Callus's Lab. But let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. I doubt I'll bother thumbing through the rules for this one, since we already have featured the rules on the channel. We're just getting the shrink wrap off here. And we'll lift the box off. We've got the rule book, which again should be all the same. All of our tokens. A baggie for everything. All of the cards, which as usual, I don't break the cards open until I'm ready to deal with them. And we've got our specialized dice along with a generic D10. That's everything in the box for that, and all of our new games so far. So we can put everything back in the box. And we'll turn our attention here once I check on my laundry timer. Okay, that's just about done. Let's bring one of our deliveries in shot. First up, I think we're going to go to the Amazon delivery. This was one of the two deliveries I had waiting for me when I got in today. So we'll crack this open and see what we've got in here. And what we've got in here is a set of currency pages with 60 pockets, 20 sheets. As you can see, it might be a little bit hard to see, but let's see if I can turn it this way. Yep. It's separated into 3 sections for currency collection. Now, I know what you're thinking. Phoenix Knight, I didn't know you were into currency collection. Well, I'm not. And admittedly, it's not currency collection I've got in mind for this. But a little bit of explanation on on the context of where I'm going with this and what I might have in mind is in order. So, if you remember when I had APA Hockey in my collection, I also had some card pages, like when you would have trading card pages back in the day. I had a few of those cut up that I would use to store my APA Hockey cards in and do line changes with those. I've got the same idea in mind with these for Stratomatic Hockey and maybe for Inside the Crease. But in order to test that out, and I will have to go to my laundry right after this comes through, right after we finish here. Well, let's go ahead and run this test real quick. So what I want to see is how well the Strat cards would fit in here. So I'm going to just take a pair of these. And it's going to be a little bit long, but it should work out just fine. Let's see if I can put them in back to back. Oh, look at that. And then I just flip it over nice and easy, and look at that. I've got my line change made. So that's very cool, and one of the ideas that I'm going to play around with the next time I do Stratomatic Hockey. Another idea I've got, because I realized I had a problem when I did my Strat test last time, where when I brought the business card holders in to stand everything up, I actually lost sight to the labels. So I'm going to try a couple of different ideas to streamline the line change process in Strat Hockey before we get to the 2009-10 season that starts in July. We'll, of course, have Hockey Demo Weekend, the weekend of June 21st and 22nd. But more on that as we get closer to it. We've got one more delivery that came in, but before we get to that, I need to take a quick break and go check my laundry, so bear with me for just a few minutes. Sorry about the small delay. You guys now know how it goes living in an apartment with shared laundry space. You do have to share the laundry room on occasion. Anyway, the last delivery that we've got in was something that came in earlier today from a gentleman off of Board Game Geek. So let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. Now, this should be a game that I played late last month, but I really liked it, and I decided I wanted to expand my collection for it. So what I decided to do is just expand it all and get everything essentially in one shot. As not wanting to cooperate with me, though. Then we'll run this right down the middle here. Easy. Well, there we go. We'll just tear it open. Okay. We're greeted by all of this, and oh wow, nice. So what we have in here, I'm just getting everything out of the way, but what we've got here is we got the Ultimate Edition of Nemo's War by Victory Point Games, based on the book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. We will definitely give a separate spotlight to this. Featuring solo gameplay with a 2 to 4 player co-op mode and 2-player versus variant. This box is supposed to include Nemo's War 2nd Edition, Nautilus upgrades, Bold and Caring, Dramatis Personae, and Journey's End expansion. The Ultimate Edition includes all of that, including the new Journey's End expansion. Enrich your journey on the deadly seas with new adventures, new upgrades for the Nautilus, a new 2-player versus mode, and 2 additional miniatures, all integrated into one box and one set of rules. So we are definitely going to give this a separate spotlight. As you can see, 90 minutes, 14 plus, and 1 to 5 players. So we will give that its own separate spotlight. And that was everything. That's all of my unboxings now, all caught up. Except we're going to give this one its own spotlight. I'm going to come back probably after I have some time to get a little bit caught up around here, at least with laundry. Get that load of laundry folded up, and then we'll come back with unboxing. Whoa! Come back with unboxing this. Somehow that just started bleeding on me. I don't know what happened, but I'll have to go clean that up as well. That's my pinky finger I'm looking at. Anywho, I do have a change on Mystical Munchies that I'll be announcing. I'll announce that after I unbox this. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching this video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.